What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this one we're looking at the Razer Tiamat 2.2 V2 gaming headset. Now we've looked at the Man of War before, which was a USB one, and often some people like to go with the analog route, so this one actually uses a 3.5mm headphone jack. So this enables you to use it on PC, Mac, PS4, Xbox One, and any device that features a 3.5mm connection, so your phone or maybe your tablet. Now the key things you need to know for this headset: it uses two audio drivers in each ear cup to deliver ground shaking bass, exactly what you want when you're in heavy gunfire or amidst loud engines and things like that, to get you really immersed into the game. If you're wondering what drives they are, they're 50mm neodymium driver with a response of 20 to 20 kHz. Other things to note: you've got a foldable unidirectional microphone. If you're wondering about frequency for that, it's 100 to 10 kHz. The headset does have a built-in volume and mute button as well, which is always handy to have. And that's attached to a 1.3m braided cable. Then you also get a 2m mic splitter. So inside we've got a nice laid out Razer box, as you'd expect with all their products. At the very front of the box there's a little compartment underneath the welcoming to the cult of Razer. That's where you'll find your cables, and then following that you'll find your manual and then some Razer stickers. Unfortunately not shiny Razer stickers, but nevertheless still pretty cool. So onto the Tiamats themselves, and one of the first things you might notice is they've got a rectangular ear cup rather than a round one like we saw in the Man of Wars previously. This makes it even more accommodating for most ear types, and you should have no worries about whatever size your ears are. One thing I really do like about this headset is the lack of any gloss plastic. It's all matte, which is also nice. Then you've got a nice metal headband as well to go with it. Of course I'll show you this as we go around the headset. Another thing you might notice is the lack of a illuminated logo on the side. You've just got a plain one here. If I had to hazard a guess why it's not RGB, probably because I don't think you can actually carry power through 3.5mm connections, so I'm guessing that'll be why. And also people may say if you're using it at home and you've got it on your head, you won't be able to actually see the RGB anyway, so there's that aspect for it as well. So first of all, let's look at the little scroll wheel for the volume and then the mute we've got on the actual cable itself. On the back there's a nice little simple Razer logo. At the end of that we'll find a 45mm 3.5mm headphone jack, and then you also get the adapter which enables you to go from that single right-handed jack into the microphone and headphone if you're going to use it on your PC, for example. So then you've got independent control for each. Now that cable is wired, but with most of the headsets it generally is. Now on the left hand side of the headset, upon first glance you may think this is maybe a volume kill switch. It's actually a bass toggle, so you can enable extra bass. This will be especially great, like I previously said, when you're in maybe a gunfight, to help you get really immersed into the game. So the headband approach for this headset I really do like. They've taken a leaf out of the other books of companies that have used the kind of elasticated design. This basically allows you to put it on your head no matter what size. You don't need to adjust it in any form at all, and it will just size itself to your head. So super simple, but works really well. The metal on the top has a nice bit of stretch as well, so if you do have a wider head it will also accommodate you, no worries. You do have an angle of adjustment on the ear cups as well, which is always good if you wear glasses, for example. And you can rotate these the other way, maybe to sit on your shoulders when you're not using it. Now this headset's got lovely soft fake leather ear cups that you can wear for extended periods of time without any discomfort. You can even take these off to wash them if you want to as well. Then under each ear cup you'll find the two 50mm drivers. They go back on just by a little simple push, so it's nice to have the option of actually cleaning those. So again, a very simple but effective implementation there to keep your headset ear cups nice and clean. Along by the headband we've got a nice simple stamped Razer logo, also nice and cushioned as well to give you some nice comfort. Now the microphone flicks easily up and down. It has a little lock in there as well when it's up, so it won't fall down by itself. There's a soft flexible portion which allows you to angle it towards your mouth. Now one little side note, you can't actually remove this microphone from the headset itself, so if you're planning to take this out and about, something to bear in mind. Now if you're wondering, I did plan to put in a segment here that had a kind of test of the actual microphone that's on the headset. Unfortunately at the moment I can't do that because I've got some really bad ground loop isolation, and it's just making it all really buzz out. Isn't giving you a true representation of what the microphone's like, so what I'm going to try and do is put a link in the description to another video where someone's got the mic sample. So being the fact this isn't a USB gaming headset, you may think, is there any kind of adjustability I can do? Now Razer Surround Pro will give you a kind of secondary audio interface that will set up on your PC, kind of as another source out instead of speakers, and then it gives you adjustability for all different aspects like the 7.1 virtual surround, EQs, mic effects, different things like that. So this is the software once I initially plugged it in, just to give you an idea of what you can actually do. This is only available for PC. People did ask in the Man of War how do you do it on the Xbox and PS4, blah blah blah. This is only for the PC, so I'm not sure if there's any EQ software on the actual consoles themselves made by the specific manufacturer, but Razer don't actually have anything like that on there, so bear in mind all this software is just for the PC. So as we haven't got any RGB or anything to show you for this headset, it's pretty much on to my conclusion. Now before we get into the specifics of how I found the sound and surround sound and all things like that, people said on my Man of War video they used them on the PS4 and they absolutely sucked. One thing I actually said in my review is I felt there was a need for EQ just to give it a little bit more highs and maybe a little bit more bass as well. So obviously when you go to console that doesn't have those features or EQ available, you're not going to be able to adjust that. Now, as far as I know, they designed these headphones to work on PC primarily, and then consoles just happen to work on it, so it does work if you want to use it on there. If you're buying a headset to use specifically on a console, I'd recommend something that's designed for that, maybe with a built-in EQ on the headphones themselves, because obviously you don't have the option to adjust that EQ on the PS4 and Xbox, whereas on PC you do. So if you're buying this for a console, maybe look at something else primarily, but if you're buying it primarily for a PC, then maybe use it on a console at a later date, then that's great, but just don't expect the same results. Okay, so in terms of audio, one thing that's going to be very prominent is obviously the bass. You've got dual subwoofers in each ear cup, what you really expect. Having the switch on the side does increase the bass as well. I would say more of an increase in volume just in general, rather than bass specifically. If you're a bass head like me, these headphones are going to be really great for you. The mids and highs do suffer a little bit because of this though, so listening to music is okay, nothing mind-blowing, but it will do the job while you're in between games or playing around on your desktop or anything like that. I like the Man & War. I would say these would benefit from an EQ change, so if you are using it on PC, definitely go and do that. Up the mids and highs a little bit just to make it sound a little bit more crisp, because by itself it's okay, but it does need a little bit of a boost. Now the Razer Virtual Surround I think is very similar to another virtual surround sound that I looked at before. It does okay, but it's just very difficult sometimes to pinpoint where something is exactly, be that an enemy, different car, explosions, things like that. So it works to an extent, but don't expect it to perform miracles. Now so far in this conclusion you may think it's all a bit negative, but I do have positives to it. I do like the headband, it's a really great idea and it's nice to see they've implemented it. Very simple, but it does what it says on the tin. I like the matte black sides. I think that's actually really nice to have something that's not RGB. Last year seemed to be the year of RGB, and to have this which is just nice and matte black and plain, I think it's actually quite nice. I do like the flip up microphone, I think that's pretty cool. Something they could implement is maybe a auto mute when it goes up. Might be a little bit easier, especially as trying to find the inline control can sometimes be difficult. So overall I think this is a pretty good product. I like the design, I think it's pretty well made. The matte black and gunmetal headband looks really good. Then on PC, as long as you give it a little bit of EQ, it sounds pretty good as well. So thank you for watching this video guys. If you've got any more questions, please let me know down in the comments box below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you fancy getting yourself a pair of these headphones, I will put links in the description box below. Big thank you to Razer for sending this out for me to review. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.